find your way back to me. Part 2 of the dirty truth about rubber mulch. So if you missed part 1, go back and watch part 1. I talked about how we got to the place of using rubber mulch. I talked about where I got the rubber mulch, and I was just about to start talking about some of the concerns people brought up last year when we decided to switch to rubber mulch, and just talk about my experience with it. Okay, so one of the things that people talked about was the smell. They're like, it's gonna smell like rubber. Does it stink? Does it smell like rubber on hot summer days? Does it get really stinky? We've not had that issue. We've not had that issue. Now we are in a more of a cold weather state. We are in Michigan, so our summers are a lot more mild than other places. So we don't get extreme high temperatures, but I mean, we get to 90s and 100 occasionally.
They don't really get a whole lot of direct
Yeah, we don't get a ton of direct sun. Like right there, you can see the sun coming along that edge. That's about as much sun as these get. Because by the time the sun gets a little further around, it starts going behind the trees. And in the summer, when it's real hot, those trees are all full and in bloom, and it casts shadows this way. So we don't get a lot of sun. So we've not had that issue. We've not noticed the smell. When we first opened the bags and we first put it in, there was a very low odor to it, but it was very minimal. It wasn't enough to bother us. We sit out here on our front porch all the time, and it didn't bother us at all. So that was not an issue. A lot of people were concerned about it washing away. Like if it rains a lot, or if it's really windy, it's gonna blow, or it's gonna wash away. We've not had that issue. But that being said, they are in contained beds. They are in contained flower beds. I do have some. I was gonna walk over there, but because the signal, I'm not gonna take a chance of walking. We do have some on that tree and around that little bird feeder base. We do have some plants that grow. I'm not putting rubber mulch there because we're just gonna put some regular mulch there because it's not contained. It's just like a natural. There's no border around that flower bed. It just ends with the dirt and goes right into the grass. So I don't want to take the chance at this point, unless I decide to like put some edging around there. Then maybe I'll put some mulch or some rubber mulch in there in the future. But currently we're just putting it in our enclosed bed. So we haven't had any issues with that. Like I said, when I was blowing the leaves out of it for the spring and we get a ton of leaves, I didn't lose that much. There was a little bit when I blew the leaves out and I raked up the leaves. There was a few pieces there, and I just grabbed it and threw it back in. It wasn't a huge issue. Now, if you go aggressive with your leaf blower and you get right up in there and you got it on high, and of course you're going to lose more, but that's with any mulch. You just got to be mindful. Same with like a rock bed. You're not going to go really hard and deep into your rock bed with a leaf blower because they're going to fly everywhere. So I didn't find it was any different than the others. Thank you, Miss Sharon. So we've got, our plants are coming up very nicely. I've got my hydrangea, or my dwarf hydrangea trees this is year number 4, summer number 4 with them. So they're doing really well. I just trimmed them today. I probably could have trimmed them back just a little bit more. We keep them trimmed very nicely to keep them small. They're not meant to be really big trees anyways, so they are okay. Every year people say, those are too close to your house. You shouldn't put trees that close to your house. These are like ornamental trees. They're meant to be, we told them at the nursery that what our plan was and where we were putting them, and they said it was totally fine. We just trim them back every year and it keeps them small. So, and we love them. They smell amazing. They look amazing. So, let's see, what were some of the other concerns? Any other concerns? Someone said something about it leaching into the soil. I did some research on that before we put it in, and everything I said that it wasn't something to be concerned about. And these are flower beds. These are not food gardens, so we're not growing food in these gardens. I don't know that I would use them in a vegetable garden, it would be kind of pointless because you're like constantly turning that, and I don't think it would be great in a vegetable garden, but just for, you know, a bed like this, I think they're fine. Let's see. What else were people saying last year? I overall like it. I love how the color holds. This is year 2 with it. It looks amazing. I've got my preen here. I'm going to be sprinkling some preen. I probably should have done this a couple weeks ago, but it's been icky here and we've not had great weather. We've not had a great spring. So this is a weed preventer. So what this does is it stops seeds from germinating. So if you plant seeds, you don't want to use this. But if all your plants are rooted, or you're going to plant rooted plants or bulbs, you'll be fine. But this does is it stops seeds from germinating. So all those little seeds that the birds carry around and that blow off the trees and all the things, it's going to stop them from germinating. And I usually do this like twice a year. I'll do it now. And then usually sometime like July-ish, I'll put another layer down, and you just sprinkle it on top of your mulch, and then the rain will kind of like wash it into the mulch and activate it.
It gets in the way of him gardening.
Oh, the mulch?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to get in your way if you're gardening with it. So, like, I mean, I do have some plans to kind of move some things around a little bit. And what my plan is, maybe you guys can help me with this. Maybe y'all can help me. These hostas, my hostas have always done really, really well. Last year, and I never got around to it last year, and I don't even know if I'll get around to it this year, but last year when my hostas came up, all the ones in the center were just like gone, and then they're growing around the edge. This used to be like a full like patch. Same thing over here. All my ones in the center are just gone. But the ones around the edge are very healthy and doing good. So I don't know if maybe I didn't split them, or maybe, I don't know what would cause that. So if you guys know what would cause that, I'd love your input. So I had planned to kind of replant these. And what I will do is I will just use the rake and pull all the mulch out away from it, do my planting, and then push the mulch back in just so I don't lose the mulch and bury the mulch down into the soil.
Maybe break them up.
That's what I think I'm going to do. And that's what I'm wondering, because these have been here since we put this retaining bed in here. Yeah, so it's been like at least 8 years.
Look how straight, level and straight.
I know. We did a good job. Tim, the kids, and I did this. Tim led us all. But our retaining walls have held up very, very nicely. So Tim was a good leader on that project. Another thing that people suggested is that there's a spray that you can get, that you can spray over the mulch, and it makes it more like a solid, so that you can come in and easily blow out the leaves in the spring and in the fall. I don't know about that, because my concern is, what if I want to replant? And what's that going to do? It's going to hinder, like if this mulch is solid, it's going to hinder these from being able to spread. It's mulch glue. So I think that would be good for some spots like here. We've got rocks. So I thought about testing it here, digging this out, putting the mulch glue over it, and just kind of seeing how it holds up, how it looks. I don't know. Have you guys ever used it in a bed?
It needs to be applied yearly.
It needs to be applied yearly. Okay, good to know.
Is that something you do in the spring or in the fall?
I don't know. Do you do it in the spring or the fall? I don't know. But the verdict is, so far, so good. Year 2 with the rubber mulch, we're happy with it. It was not hard. We blew it out with the leaf blower the best we could. And then, of course, there's little leaves that are kind of stuck around. And it probably took me half hour, 45 minutes for each bed, just to go through and pick. Probably about a half hour for this bed, to go and pick out the random little leaves that were just kind of stuck, and the leaf blower didn't blow them. This bed took me a little bit longer, but there's a lot of acorns. So I was picking all the acorns, because we have a oak tree. Yeah, there were a lot of acorns. Or we had a little critter that was
we got a critter.
storing. There used to be a chipmunk was living underneath the step.
Oh no, I think he was just hiding.
Or maybe he was just hiding. I don't know. He was under the step.
I think that's what that pile is from.
Oh yeah, I did discover that today, y'all. Let me show you. Something was living under there because we got a big pile of dirt that they dug out. So we're keeping an eye on that. But there was a lot of acorns in that bed, so that I think that's why that just took me longer, because all those little acorns. But yeah, so there we go, guys. That's my verdict on the what my truth is about rubber mulch. I like it. I like it. I don't know that I would use it in a bed that doesn't have retaining, because I would be afraid of it washing away and getting into the grass and stuff. But if you put like edging around your bed, I think you'll be fine.
Different than regular wood mulch as far as that goes.
No, but regular wood mulch kind of just decomposes and goes in, like it gets in the grass and it just kind of like goes away. It just, well, yeah, like rots and turns into dirt eventually. But the rubber's not going to. But I do like that you're recycling. Those tires got to go somewhere. All that rubber's got to go somewhere after it's used, and they're useless for anything else. So I do like that. I do like that I'm not spending money on 20 bags of mulch.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't do 20 bags here. We do probably about 12 bags, 10 to 12 bags we would put into these 2 beds every single year. And 2 weeks later, the mulch would be fading already. So overall, I'm happy with it. So yeah, so that's my mulch update, y'all. I always like to try to come back and follow up with you guys when I try something new and different. So I've had luck between my rugs on the back deck and the mulch out here. Those were the 2 big things that we did last year, and we're happy with them both. So thankfully. But I will let you guys know if we try the mulch glue in that little spot, and I'll let you guys know how that works.
Also, I think we should try here too.
We could do it here too, yeah, because this is like a little rock bed. Although these are little rocks that Elena's collected. Elena painted that one on our adventures when she was littler. She used to love rocks, and I would only allow her to bring 1 rock home. I'd be like, just one. You can only have 1 rock. Because she'd bring a dozen home if I let her when she was little. You know how that is.
Oh, yeah.
She loved to find cool rocks. They all did. Yes. Not all of them made it here, but these are some that I was like, let's put it in our little rock bed. And she's like, why do we got to put it out there? Can we just put it in the house? I'm like, no, the rocks belong outside. We'll put the rocks in the rock bed. So they're still here. But we could do this. I'll probably start with that other spot first and see how that does. And if it does well there, we could do it here too.
Works on stone.
Yes, you can do it on stone too. Yeah, that glue stuff, they make the glue stuff for the stone also. Someone told me that they do. So, hello, Miss Judy. I know I never said hi to anyone. Hello, Miss Judy, Miss Sharon. Hello, Miss Tammy, and hello, Jim and Kathy and Sue. Hello, everybody. Sorry, part 1, I don't know what happened, y'all. I'm not sure what happened. I moved around too much. I lost my connection. I don't know. So if you missed it, make sure you go back and watch part 1. This is part 2. I'm going to go in and I'll edit it and change it to part 1 so you'll know which one you didn't see. So
well, can you put the 2 together or no?
No, they're already posted. They're live videos.
Oh.
It's not.
I didn't know if you could.
No, I can't. I would have to like make a whole new video and upload it again. No, so there's part 1 and part 2 for this one. So apologies to that. That wasn't intentional. We just lost our connection somehow, and I had to come back on for part 2. So T-Bone is absolutely enjoying this day. He's been laying out in that front yard dang near all day, soaking up the sun. So we've all been enjoying it, but it's nice. Yeah. But we're going to relax a little bit now.
Pulled the ribs off the grill.
The smoker.
They're resting.
Smoker's cooling down. The ribs are in the house. We've got coleslaw made up to go with it. So that's getting all like setting. You know, coleslaw, you got to let it sit and let it all marinate together a little bit.
You got to let those flavors cohabitate.
Yes. So that is in the fridge ready for us. So we're going to, I think, have an early dinner tonight. because who can wait for dinner time for the ribs, right? Right?
Exactly.
Right?
I say, did anyone let Jake know we were doing ribs?
I thought about that. I was like, oh, if I let Jake know we have ribs and coleslaw, I bet
wonder
he'll
if
come
he's
out for
working in-
dinner.
I'm gonna say if he's working in New Baltimore tomorrow,
He doesn't-
probably run him a few.
Oh, tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah.
Because we got to bring him his water bottle. He's got to get his water bottle at some point.
At some point. At some point. All right, guys. I'm going to hop off here. I hope you guys are enjoying your weekend. I hope you're having an amazing Sunday. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll be live crafting tomorrow. So we'll see you in the craft room tomorrow. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.